Hi everyone, I am Jessica Doherty and I am your professor for Ed 691. I just wanted to take a minute to introduce myself and to get us acquainted with the course. As you will see shortly, I have opened the first module, the first learning segment, which will take us through the first 2 weeks of the term. And so I just wanted to get that to you today in case you want to look it over before Monday, but if not, that's totally fine. Starting on Monday is perfectly great as well. All right, so first, just a little bit about myself. This is my family. My husband and I live in Salem with our 4 kiddos. We actually have had, beyond like COVID and civil unrest and wildfires and all the other crazy things in our world, we have also just had a busy summer in that my oldest son, Carson, and my stepdaughter both graduated from high school this year. Carson is off to Portland State actually tomorrow. We are moving him into his on-campus apartment. So kind of a bittersweet time for me, and I'm super excited for him to pursue his film studies major there and just to see what awaits him in his next adventure. Sydney's off at Arizona State University right now, just taking her general ed requirements and possibly pursuing some nursing. Logan is a junior at Sprague and he is super duper athlete, and so he keeps us busy with lots of football right now. He can actually play some 7-on-7. Macy is a freshman, so big year for her, freshman at Sprague, and she is staying busy by being an amazing babysitter and dog sitter lately, and also just pursuing a lot of honors courses and leadership types of responsibility and health occupation clubs. So that's a little bit about my family. We absolutely love being outdoors. Paddleboarding was one of our favorite things to do this summer. We also really enjoy camping. We enjoy baking together and cooking and just really any time together, even playing a silly board game. You know, we've come up with all sorts of things to keep ourselves entertained during this time. About me professionally, I didn't jot it down here. This is my 13th year at Western. I am the ESOL program coordinator, so if you have any advising questions, please reach out to me. I have taught all of the ESOL courses. I teach both at the undergraduate level and the graduate level. I actually received my bachelor's and master's degrees from Western and my doctorate degree from George Fox University, with my research focus being on bilingual teacher candidates' appropriation of translanguaging. So we'll dive into that translanguaging philosophy and methodology during this course, but also just take a look at how you can appropriate those strategies in your classroom now based on the research that I did and how we acquire those types of skills. So that's just a little bit about my background. Some of my other research interests right now include using the unconference as a strategy to empower student voice, and also researching the Bilingual Teacher Scholars Program and its effectiveness overall for the university and most importantly for the students we serve at Western, but also the students that the Bilingual Teacher Scholars serve. So that's just a bit about me. I am looking forward to your introductions, and you'll see on Moodle there's a place for that because it's really important to me to build online community. And so I'm going to try to do that in a variety of ways throughout this course so that we can really try to get to know each other. So in your introduction, I actually take notes and listen to the things you tell me so I can try to connect with you on those levels throughout the term. All right, so moving on. It's really important to me that we focus on taking care of each other. We're still in just, you know, unprecedented times, uncharted waters. There's still a lot of things going on that are keeping us, some of us, unsettled, unbalanced, you know, different things. Some of us may be feeling great. Others of us, you know, are in a situation of flux. Obviously, my 2 high schoolers are going to be home, or are home, doing online schooling. Wednesdays and Fridays are their long days online in all their classes. So those are great days to get a hold of me, and those are my office hour days. Those are days where I can put in solid focus time on work. But obviously it's a balance for me trying to figure out, again, another new normal. So with that being said, I know you are all facing different things in your life as well. So I want to make sure we really exercise flexibility with each other, a lot of communication, compassion, and grace. It is really important to me that if you find something in the course that doesn't make sense, is overwhelming, If something's going on in your personal life and you need an extension on an assignment, please reach out to me. It's really important for me to know those things about you so I can help you be successful. This is one of my favorite courses to teach because this is where the rubber meets the road. You're going to learn how to really just apply everything about ESOL and bilingual education into your actual teaching. And so I want it to be meaningful. Normally, we try to do a lot of interaction in this course because I'm trying to model for you how you would actually do this in your classroom. It's harder to do that online. So I'm trying to embed some things that will make it possible for you to see how these will actually play out in your classroom. So our class will be made up of, some of you will be just pursuing the ESOL endorsement only. Some of you are in a Master's of Teaching program. Some of you are in an MS-Ed program. So for those adding the endorsement only and MS-Ed, you do have your teaching license already, and you're adding this endorsement as another layer. The MET students are acquiring their teaching license right now and adding the ESOL endorsement alongside their teaching credentials, which means there is a high level of differentiation for me because some of you will come in with an enormous amount of teaching experience already, and some of you may only have had volunteer experience. So do know that I'm aware of that, and I will really be trying to differentiate. And I'm always open to Zoom meetings, phone calls, whatever it takes to make sure that you have your questions answered and that we can do even some additional teaching time if needed to clarify concepts or methods. Let's see, there was one other thing I wanted to say about the different programs. Oh, the other thing is, for some of you, this may be your very first ESOL course because of the scope and sequence of our coursework. For others of you, this may be your last course. So again, another high need for differentiation, but also really that's why our collaboration will be really important because some of you already have some experience and knowledge that you can bring to those students who are newer. So know that key dates for our course are Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays will be days that you post initial responses to the discussion forums. Sundays will be the days for peer responses and for major assignments. So again, I'm going to do this course in 2-week blocks, which we'll take a look at shortly, so that it gives you time to really dive in and not feel rushed. You can really read the articles thoroughly, watch the videos, etc., and then apply that. Know that we've kind of moved away from using the term English Language Learner, or ELL. The state of Oregon uses the term English Learner. At Western, we primarily focus on the term Emergent Bilingual, but we use both because both are used frequently in our state. Emergent Bilingual takes on more of an additive perspective where we're looking at the bilingual student and their full language repertoire and looking at all the languages they bring to the table to process content area information, to engage socially and emotionally. So emergent bilingual is a term you'll hear me using often. Sorry, I didn't turn my ringer off just in case my kids need help with school. So do be aware that those are the terms we use. Emergent bilingual is the most additive term. English learner is the term that Oregon ODE uses. You will see that some of the articles and things that are posted in this course will still use the term English language learner just because it's still meaningful research, but just was written before terms changed. And as you know, in education, our acronyms change frequently. Okay, so before we look at our course, I actually want to jump to this last bullet. I should have moved this up. Do know that our syllabus is flexible. As I get to know you in the first module, I may change things in the syllabus. I am definitely going to be adapting the assignments because one assignment in particular requires a classroom observation. One of them is supposed to be a group teaching project. So I'm going to be adapting those as I get to know you and know what works best for our group. So just do know I am thinking about what works best for us in the time we're in, and that the syllabus is flexible. I will always keep you updated of any changes, but just know my goal is to meet your needs and make sure you're fully equipped to go out and be the best ESOL and or bilingual educator that you can be. And with that, it means some flexibility. So let's take a look at our course. If I am using Moodle, by the way, this term, probably should have shared that first. I'm going to turn off my editing mode so it looks a little more like it will for you. But I'm just not fully prepared to use Canvas successfully, so our ESOL bilingual team, no one really was feeling that way, our faculty, so we are all using Moodle this term. With that being said, at the beginning of our course here, I will always have announcements here, and the syllabus is here, so you can look ahead and see what assignments will be given for the entire term. The due dates are in the schedule at the end of the syllabus. There are thorough descriptions and directions for each assignment along with a scoring guide for each assignment, and those will be included on Moodle as well, but if you want to take a look ahead, you can. So like I said, we're going to look at 2-week learning segments. So learning segment 1 will take us through learning about ESOL lesson planning. We will be learning about just instructional principles for ELLs. Again, this says ELLs because that's the title of the article. Some theories in ESOL education, the importance of scaffolding, both for content and language, and then what does sheltered instruction look like? So just diving into what does ESOL lesson planning look like, and then we'll move through from there into looking at specific methods to implement in that lesson planning that helps shelter instruction and teach language alongside. So sometimes the modules, the learning segments, will look overwhelming with the number of resources, but you do have 2 weeks to go through all of these, and so I just want to make it clear that some of them are just quick graphs, some of them are articles, some of them are videos, but I want you to feel equipped with all the information that you need. So back to week 1, or learning segment 1, you will start with this introductory video, and then you will read and review, you will read and review everything in these learning segments, and then complete the activity and discussion board. As I said, the activity and discussion board, Thursday will be your initial post, and then your peer responses will be due on Sunday. Prior to that are the introductions, and those will be posted right here. So you can see in the introduction, I would really love it if you could do a video. If you're not comfortable with a video, at least post a picture of yourself. Again, we want to really build some online community and connection, so please take the time to at least, like I said, give a photo if you don't want to do a video, but obviously want to know your name, what you like to be called. Add your pronouns if you would like. Tell us about the program you're in. How many courses have you taken? It lets me know how I need to adapt the course for you. What's your experience in teaching? What grade levels have you taught? Are you bilingual, hobbies? And then just simply like, what are you hoping to get from this course? What do you need? Again, we're all at different places. So for some of you, this introduction to sheltered instruction might be a review. For others, it might be brand new information. So tell me something you want to get from the course. And then when you go to the activity and discussion board, you will see right here, the board will be a place where we synthesize our readings and information. And so again, I want you to process and synthesize the information you've read in the learning segment by using tools and methods that we would use in an ESOL classroom so that you can practice things such as graphic organizer use, front-loading vocabulary, exit tickets, all those types of things. So that's basically what the activity and discussion board is, as it says, a time to synthesize your readings, videos, etc. But we're going to synthesize it by using tools that we would want to use in an ESOL classroom to help scaffold content and shelter content, and also to teach language. So in this, I'm asking you to post the assignments below in your forum. Video and audio record yourself explaining each one of your assignments that you're posting. So for instance, in the concept map, give a little explanation. What was your thinking behind where you put the words in your concept map? Discuss what the sections mean in the ESOL lesson plan template, because I want you to get familiar with that template. What do you understand goes in each section? So just briefly, a quick define, describe, add a link or a visual, add some ideas, whatever's meaningful for you. But I want it to be, if you already are pretty familiar with the ESOL lesson plan template, then put some specific ideas of different resources you would use to fill in each section. And then with the instructional principles, theories, sheltered strategies, etc., I want you to, in your video, list at least one idea, question, and strategy you have for being the kind of teacher described in the video. So just starting to get some ideas flowing. And then we will always have an exit ticket every week, just so you can practice that skill of using different informal assessment tools, and we'll talk about how to adapt those for English learners as well. I think that pretty much covers it for our course. Again, you can look ahead for major assignments, and I'll be posting updates every week, but this hopefully gives you a nice, good overview of what our course will look like. I'm looking forward to working with you. Please reach out with any questions you may have.